Congress can't agree on a new spending plan, the government will shut down this weekend for the first time in about 4 years. So if things do shut down, what would close and what would stay open? Casey Decker takes a closer look at the impact in tonight's Verify.
The federal government is about to shut down. If Congress doesn't come to an agreement by the end of the week and pass the yearly spending bills, federal agencies will be left without a budget. So, what will close and what will stay open? Let's verify using these sources. First, we can verify the post office will stay open. It isn't funded by spending bills. It's self-funded through the stuff it sells. DMVs will also remain open because they're run by the states, not the federal government. Airports will remain open, but there could be significant delays due to staff shortages. That's because federal workers don't get paid during a shutdown. And even though TSA and air traffic controllers are still technically required to come to work, we know from the last shutdown in 2019 that many don't. Similarly, passport applications will still be processed, but may take longer than normal. And what about the IRS? Some people who got an extension on their taxes this year have a deadline on October 16th. But will the IRS be open to process those returns? It's unclear. The IRS may have some access to emergency funds, but we don't know yet how much. So it's possible the agency at least partially closes until a deal is reached. You may remember from previous government shutdowns that some national parks and monuments closed. But this doesn't always mean they're not accessible to visitors. Some parks may lock their gates. Others might simply not have operational services like bathrooms or visitor centers. And finally, if you're planning a trip to the nation's capital anytime soon, don't plan to go to any Smithsonian Museum or the National Zoo. They'll all be closed.
Congress can't agree.
Time is running out to avoid a government shutdown on Saturday as House Republicans fight among themselves over whether or how to extend government funding. It appears likely that the House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, who's already slammed his far-right flank, is trying to burn down the House, that he might need help from Democrats. Should Democrats supply their votes if it means avoiding a government shutdown and the related consequences that come with it?
Let me start by saying it would be completely irresponsible to have a government shutdown. As is, I think, at this point, very well known and understood, a government shutdown could mean that the members of our military, servicemen and women, aren't getting paid. It means that people who are doing critical work that is about upholding the structures of our government and all that we rely on in terms of those services could shut down. So let's start there. It would be completely irresponsible. Second, people are playing politics. They're playing political games. There's a lot of showmanship that you're seeing. And if those people put those same levels of effort and talent into actually something that was productive, I don't think we'd be in this place talking about a government shutdown.
Should Democrats step in and help avoid a shutdown if that's what is required?
Well, right now it's very much in the hands of the Republicans in Congress to be able to do just that.
So as we're one day closer to this government shutdown, I can already start to see the narrative kind of shifting. I'm seeing it in comments. I know the media is going to pick up on it if there's a government shutdown. So I want to make sure that we keep the focus where it should be, on what it should be on. And I know that there are a lot of people who do not follow politics as closely as I do, which is why I want to talk about this, because I think this is something that oftentimes gets missed, because for people who are just browsing the headlines or don't really pay attention, they're going to think that that narrative is true, that somehow this is equally to blame, that this is just another example of how Congress can't get things done, that they can't work together. Absolutely not. And that's on Republicans. I don't care that Joe Biden's in the White House. I don't care that Democrats have control of the Senate. This 100% comes down to Republicans, and specifically Republicans in the House. I want to talk about this narrative in a broader context because, I find it interesting that Newt Gingrich got up and said that Matt Gaetz is direct.
All right, that's enough of that. This damn she-devil is talking about Republicans or Democrats, but we know, Yasharala, that they're two wings of the same bird. So ultimately, if this thing is going to come to pass, then it was ultimately planned by both sides. But first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, who I learned from daily. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, who are given diligence to make their calling of election sure. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, Akim. Just doing a quick lesson on my lunch break going into this government shutdown. We are not ignorant of Satan's devices. With all this stuff coming down the pipeline, this could very well be, just another catalyst to bring in the chaos, if you will. Because this devil, he's gonna bring in his NWO via what? Chaos, order out chaos, right? So um, don't find it surprising, Akim, that this devil is putting this move on the table, uh, specifically because the people they can't do without that government assistance. You Eves, who are independent, strong black women, who claim they don't need a man. What are you going to do when the government never reopens? I'm not saying that that's going to happen this time around, but what are you going to do when Daddy Esau cuts you off? You know, you're going to have that. Matter of fact, that Isaiah 4:1 is going to come into fruition, man. All you women are going to be looking for a man, not just any man, a man of the Lord, to provide and protect you during those time frames, right? Because when this devil cuts off the food stamps, he cuts off the Section 8 payments, the WIC, all these programs that the black woman, right, the Negro woman have benefited from for all this time, right? What you gonna do then? You know, you people are gonna suffer then. You women are gonna specifically you women are gonna suffer. You know, Uh, uh, this devil is about to come down with wrath. You know, so Lord will, this devil um shuts down the government and all these things come to pass. Uh, Let me get this scripture though right quick. Let me read it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read into this article a little bit, see if we can get a little bit more meat off the bones, and we can then get some scriptures. It says U.S. braces for government shutdown as funding deadline looms. With less than 2 days to go until the critical deadline to extend federal funding, Congress is barreling toward a government shutdown as lawmakers have yet to reach a deal. The Senate put together a bipartisan to avert a shutdown, but House Republicans have thrown cold water on that plan, leaving the two chambers as an impasse. A House vote on a short-term funding measure failed, marking a fresh blow for House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, whose speakership could also be on the line. A shutdown can have enormous impacts across the country, from air travel to clean drinking water. Many government operations would come to a halt while service deemed essential would continue. Senator Dianne Feinstein, the longest serving female senator in history, died Thursday. All praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. After months of declining health, her last vote was Thursday morning, a procedural vote for short-term government funding, following the latest tributes to the late senator. That's pretty much it on that. I'm going to grab a quick scripture and we can wrap this up again. This is Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, right? And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So this devil, he's through, man. He's been brainwashing the people for so long that these people can't agree on anything. Whether it's okay for, I've seen a few videos and they can't even decide whether it's okay for a kid to pretty much cut off his manhood, or cut off her chest, her chest, if you will. These devils can't agree on anything. This house is divided, and it says is brought to desolation. Let's get that word desolation in Matthew 12 and 25. Lord will. know, Lord will. The government gets shut down and it never reopened, right? Let's get that 12 and 25 though. Desolation. It's brought to desolation. Okay. And the biblical usage is to make desolate, lay waste, to ruin, bring desolation, to despoil one, strip her of her treasures. So yeah, so this place is coming to ruin. You know, this place is finished, man. You know, you got with the left talking about, uh, let's bring back Trump, and let's establish this wall, and let's make America great again. You got the right talking about down with America. LG, the LG the rainbow flag people, they got rights, and let's let children do whatever they want. This place is divided, and it's about to be brought to ruin. Lord will, but Lord will, this lesson was edifying. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and Shalom, Akim. Until next time, Shalom.